Hi everyone, I'm Gio. I hope everyone's having the best blessed day possible. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, and this is the 72nd video I'm making for my YouTube channel, Living in Recovery with Gio. So I started this channel about 8 months ago now, I think, that I've been making these videos, and this is my 72nd video. So it's really, really cool because now I can go back and I can see where I started and how much I've grown, you know. Today also is my 508th day clean, which feels amazing, and I can't even believe that this is now the person I get to be each and every day, and I absolutely love it, and it's really, really, really exciting, and the future is exciting, and the future is bright, and it's amazing that the way I live my life now, I have so much confidence, and I have so much just drive and motivation, and I want to see what I can accomplish with life and see where my life can go now, and it's such a great, amazing feeling to have that. And I also have a purpose now in making these videos and trying to help other people that are suffering addicts, you know, to show them that there's a better way, because when I was, you know, my entire life I battled with addiction, and I never thought I could have 508 days clean. I never ever dreamt that that could be possible for me, and especially I never dreamt that I would enjoy it and that I would like life so much better this way, you know, because I never thought that I would want to live a sober life. I never thought that was in the cards for me to do. So I'm eternally grateful, and it's only because of God that that is even possible. So do me a favor, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, all those good things you guys can do. I respond to every comment that you guys give me, and all those things, they help me to increase viewership. They help me. There's an algorithm that YouTube uses, and based on the amount of likes, amount of views, all those things, the videos expand further. So whenever you guys can do any of those things, it really helps me out a lot, and I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it, and I'm so grateful to have anyone that supports me. So thank you so much for that. So throughout my day and everything, like when I go to work and stuff, I start out my day when I'm prepping, doing all the stuff, and anytime I'm on my bike, I have my headphones in, and I'm always listening to different sermons, different people. You know, there's Stephen Furtick, I listen to a lot of Rick Warren, a lot of Joyce Meyer. So I come across this new girl. She's not really new, but her name is Terry Savelle Foy. And her dad was a preacher, and she became a preacher. She has a really, really high-pitched voice, and it sounds really, really funny. She sounds like a little kid, but she's a grown woman. And she has a lot of good insight, and I've enjoyed listening to her. So one of the things that I heard her say recently that really hit home for me and really meant something to me so much that I had to share it with you guys is what she said was, "What seems crazy to do will be the catalyst to your breakthrough, so do something unexpected." Let me read that again. "What seems crazy to do will be the catalyst to your breakthrough, so do something unexpected," by Terry Savelle Foy. Okay, so as I can relate to that, especially because that's exactly what I did with my life that was the catalyst to my breakthrough. So I'll set a little groundwork. Okay, so I went to rehab back in March 2023. I went to rehab. I completed rehab on April 5th, 2023. And I came back to my hometown, Herkimer, which is where I live now. And within 5 minutes of hitting the street, I was smoking something. Well, it took me exactly 5 minutes of being around someone that I knew had it, that I asked, "Hey, can I have a hit?" That's all it took, 5 minutes. So for the next 2 days, I was right back to my normal life. I was right back to doing everything that I always did. You know, I'm staying on someone's couch at night, trying to sleep. And I seen life going right back to exactly what it was prior to me going to rehab. When I went to rehab, the one thing I did was I started praying. And I started saying, "Lord, I trust you. Wherever you want me to go, I will go. And I'm going to follow whatever it is that you tell me to do." So the Lord somehow brought me back to Herkimer, which I didn't understand why that was. Because I knew coming back to Herkimer how dangerous that was for me. And like I said, I ended up using right away. So why would God bring me back to the town that I was in? Well, the whole thing is after the second day of using, and now I'm just right back in the same exact situation I was in. I remember I was at my friend's house, and I went outside on her back porch, and I just prayed. I said, "Lord, please get me out of this situation." I said, "I don't know what to do." I said, "I just lost all the work that I put in. Everything that I worked for is gone, and now my life is going right back to what it was, and I don't know what to do. Please help me get out of the situation that I'm in." So that was the prayer that I did. And now, right after that, I'm in the car, and we're driving to go pick up, and on the way there, we end up getting pulled over. The car I'm in ends up getting pulled over. So now, in this situation, I've been pulled over in cars before, and I either A, have gotten out and ran, which was an option. I thought about it, you know, I considered it at the moment when we got pulled over. B, I've given a false name and gotten away like that. Or C, I'm dishonest. I do whatever I can to talk my way out of it. So, but now in this instance, when the cop comes up, I tell the cop my name. I say my name and I say I have warrants because I knew I had warrants. And he says, okay, get out of the car. So when I got out of the car, the cops came around and they searched me. And now when they searched me, they did not find the 4 bags of a substance that I had that was in my inside jacket pocket. So now they put me in the back seat of the car. And I'm sitting back there, and I have those 4 bags in my pocket. So what do I do? In this situation in the past, I've done a couple different things. I've taken these bags out, and I've put them in my mouth, and I've swallowed them. So this is actually what I did in this situation was I had my hands behind my back. I managed to get the bags out of my pocket somehow, and I put them on my lap. I bent down, and I put them in my mouth. So I have all 4 bags in my mouth. I'm sitting there thinking, like, I could swallow these. I'll probably be really, really high, maybe overdose. You know, I don't even know at this point what these bags are going to do to me, but I know that that's not what I want to do. You know, and I realize that I don't want to do this. You know, this isn't what I want to do. So I take the bags out, and I grab the bags, and I take them all, and I shove them all in the seat. And I'm sitting there, and then I'm like, that's not what I want to do either. You know, I don't want to be dishonest anymore. This was the thought that I was having is I don't want to, this is the same exact person I've always been. So I tried to dig the bags back out of the seat. Now there was 4 little baggies, you know, like little dime baggies. They all had powder in them. And I took them, I had shoved them in the seat. I reached in the seat and I could only find one of the 4 bags. But I grabbed that bag and I set it on my lap. And then the cop, I'm trying to wave him down. Finally, he looks over. So he comes over to the car and I point at the bag on my seat. So he's like, oh, what is that? You know, and he's like flipping out about it. And I said, there's 3 more in the seat that I put in the seat. So now they're trying to find the bags. They can only find one of those 3 bags in the seat. So now they find one of them. And so, but by me doing this in this instance, right? So that's something that is so unexpected of me to do. Something, number one, I didn't have to do at all. I would have gotten away. I could have had those bags in the seat. No one would have known the better, you know, and then I would have went to jail. I would have went, you know, with the cops and everything would have been the same as it always was. You know, I would have been dishonest. I would have been doing something that wasn't, you know, pleasing to God. Obviously in that situation that wouldn't have been something that was pleasing to God, but instead I did something that was so unexpected of me and so goes against anything I would ever do. Like, why would I give myself up like that? Now I just caught more charges, you know, and I didn't have to do that, but I just did it for some reason. Something came over me and I thought I don't want to, if I'm going to change, if I really want to change, like I went to rehab, like I just prayed for God to get me out of the situation. When I went on the back porch and I prayed, God, please help me out of this situation. Now, if I really want to change, I had to do something different. That was what my thought was at that time when I decided to do this. But by me doing that with those bags and everything, I really believe that was the catalyst to my breakthrough, right? Because that was something so out of the ordinary for me, so out of character for me to do. Whereas in the past, you know, I put the bags in my mouth and then because I've had other drugs on me, and then when the cop comes to search me, I show them the bag. So now they're trying to fight me for the bag, and then I get brought to the hospital, and like I've done all sorts of different crazy things in all these situations before. But in this instance, I did what I felt was the right thing to do. You know, in this instance, I felt that I was doing something that was right, and again, so out of character for me to do. And then so now when the cops, they find the other bag, they can't even find the other 2. And the whole time that I'm with them, they can't find the other 2 bags. And they're saying they're not there. They don't believe me. But I'm like, I promise you, you go search that car, you're going to find those 2 bags, you know, because I know that I put them there. But so, and now we're in the police station. And while I'm there in the police station, you know, I tell the cops, I say that I need to go to jail. I said, please put me in jail. There's nothing for me out here on the streets. I said, everything I own is in this one duffel bag of stuff. I just got out of rehab. The only thing that means anything to me is the coin that I got from rehab and the folders that I have that were the things that I wrote my journal from rehab, you know, where I wrote about God and I wrote about, you know, my new relationship that I was developing with God. Those are the only things I have of value to me in my entire life. You know, I was 44 at that time. The only thing that matters anything to me is this coin, the 2 coins that I have from rehab and these folders that I have that have a journal in there, you know, with like my certificate from rehab. Those are the only things I have that are of value. Anything else I have is nothing. I don't have any money. I have 2 outfits to my name. You know, this is what my life was at this moment. So I tell the cops this, and now the cops, you know, they're being normal cops, like cops usually are in this situation. You know, they see a lot of addicts, they deal with a lot of people like this, so they don't realize that I'm trying to be a different person. They don't realize that I'm necessarily being different, you know, and they might have dealt with me even in the past, and they know the person I've been and the trouble that I've given in the past, you know, in these situations. So they're not being anything out of, you know, that's necessarily wrong in their eyes, because they deal with so many irate people and so many situations that they're hardened to situations, and that they don't see things, you know, necessarily how they might be sometimes. So in this instance, you know, I'm asking to go to jail. I'm saying, can you please put me in jail? I don't want to be back on the street. There's nothing for me out there. And the cops, they're kind of like making fun of me, and they're just being like really, really rude to me, and they're trying to make me feel even worse than I'm already expressing that I feel in this moment. So I'm just sitting there, I'm taking it, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, you know, I stood up and I said, you know what, and I said this with such conviction, I said, you know what, I said that if I was to be at the pearly gates, that God would welcome me there with open arms, and he would say, oh my God, you're home, I'm so happy to see you, because of the way that I've lived my life, because of the way that I treat others, and because of the care that I have for other people. And I said, could you say the same? I bet you that you couldn't. And I said that I don't know why you're acting the way that you are right now, but you're not hurting me, you're hurting yourself. You know, that's the only thing you're doing is hurting yourself. And then the cops, they changed their tune. They said, you know what, you're right. And they started being like really, really genuinely nice to me after this fact. And the one cop, he let me smoke a cigarette, and they said, you know what, you're right. You know, we aren't being nice, and it's not right. And so they changed, you know. So now by doing that, again, something so out of character for me. Like, I'm at my lowest point. You know, I'm asking to go to jail. I'm telling you, all I own is this one duffel bag of stuff. My most important things that I have to me in my life are my 2 coins from rehab, which I just got, which I completed, but yet I relapsed. So they really don't mean all that much, but those are the only things that mean anything to me in my life. Like, this is what my life is. I'm telling you this, and you're trying to make me feel worse on top of that. But yeah, I stand up with such conviction and such just emotion at the fact that I care about them and their well-being, that they're not helping themselves by treating me like that. You know, they're not hurting me. You're not making me feel any worse than I feel, but you're hurting yourself, because it's not the way that you should be acting towards someone. You know, it's not the way that you should be treating someone. And I was saying that out of care for them, not care for myself necessarily, not because of it was bothering me the way they were treating me, but it was just bothering me that they were acting like this for them. You know, like I really, really felt like that they were hurting themselves by being that way, and that they needed to hear what I had to say. So that was the part 2, where I did something unexpected, out of character. I could have just sat there and ate it, you know, and just let them talk to me however they wanted to talk to me, and just, you know, begged to go to jail and went there whimpering, being sad, whatever. But instead, I did that, you know, and I really, truly did that with the thought that I'm helping them, you know, with the thought that they needed to hear this, that this was something that they needed to hear for themselves. So that's why I did it. And so now, after that, they bring me to the police station. I'm in the police station in Herkimer, and I got to go in front of the judge, because in Herkimer, before you go to jail, you need to see a judge. So it's like almost 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm sitting there, and I'm in the booking room in the Herkimer Police Station. I don't know how many people have been there, but you know, they take your picture in there and everything. They have a bench, and you get handcuffed to the bench while you're sitting there. So, and they're just about their business. You know, it's 2 a.m. in the morning. There's not all that many people on or anything. They're trying to get a judge, you know, to come in so they can see. But now they do have a lot of things virtually now, so they're just trying to get a judge to appear virtually. Plus, they have to get an attorney that has to represent me to be there. So there's a little bit of work that has to be done. So now I'm sitting there in this back room of the police station, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you know, I all of a sudden just hear the audible voice of God. And I said, is this really happening? Are you really talking to me right now? And then I said, are you going to talk to me all the time? Now, I can't explain to you this voice. I don't know if this was a voice in my head. I don't know if this was a voice I heard out loud. But I do know that I heard this voice. And I do know that I wasn't high. I hadn't done drugs in hours at this point. And I've never done drugs that have made that happen. You know, that's not something like I've done a lot of drugs in my lifetime. You know, unfortunately, I don't say that proudly, but I do say that so I know what drugs do to me, and I know the effects that drugs have, and I don't have conversations with God on drugs. Like, that does not happen. I don't have conversations with people that aren't there. You know, that doesn't happen. It would never happen with the drug that I was using. And that wouldn't happen. So that's not the situation. The situation is that God actually spoke to me in this moment, because, and it makes so much sense now when I hear that exact statement. You know, what seems crazy to do will be the catalyst to your breakthrough. So do something unexpected. By doing all these things that were so unexpected, so out of character for me to do, that showed God that I really wanted to change, that I wanted something different for my life, that I was ready to change. The fact that I would give up 4 bags that are going to catch me extra charges because I don't want to do the wrong thing, because I just want to do what's right. I don't want to do something wrong because I want to be different, and I want my life to change and be different. So at that moment, that's a moment that I heard from God. That's a moment that was my breakthrough. That was the catalyst for my breakthrough, was by doing those unexpected things. So now I hear the voice of God. He tells me he's proud of me. He said that if I continue down the path, everything will be provided for me. I don't need to worry about anything. And that's been exactly the case. Everything has been provided for me. God doesn't lie. God would not say something to me that wasn't true. So I've trusted everything, and everything has worked out exactly the best that it possibly could in every situation that has happened in my life since that moment. But now I've had to put in the work too. You know, I couldn't just have this happen and then go back to the person that I always was. No, I had to change everything about myself too, and I had to live this new godly life. I had to live a new life that is pleasing to God at all times, and put in that work. I had to learn the Word. You know, I have to read the Bible. I have to study the Bible. I have to go to church. I have to do all these things. And I have to try to be the best person I can be each and every day, as far as how I treat people, as far as how I care about people, as far as every word that comes out of my mouth. This is the seriousness that I have in this situation. So, but again, the moment that I hear from God was the moment after I did something that was so unexpected. And after you hear the voice of God, it changes you forever. That, you know, whereas I went to rehabs, whereas I tried to do so many things, but yeah, I could never even not want to do drugs. You know, I could never even for a second think that there was a better way for my life. I never even had that ability until I accepted God into my life, until I heard that voice. It changed everything. That was the moment that changed my entire life and the entire course of my life. That's the reason why now almost everything I wear will be something that says, like, thank you, Jesus. I have crosses everywhere. This is the person I now am. If you look at the room that I'm in, you know, everything about my life now has changed, and I absolutely love it. And it's so amazing. And I'm so grateful that I'm here to have this opportunity, because so many other people do not. When I went through my phone to send out invites for the event that I just had where I did my interview testimony, I went through my Facebook friends, and I didn't count them all, but I would say up to 50 people that I know that have died from addiction, that or from my life, you know. And I was not into a life that dealt with heroin, that dealt with those things, until 2015. So all those people that died, you're talking in about 10 years time, I've seen 50 people that have passed away from addiction. And that's insane. That is so crazy. And a lot of these were very, very good people. Almost all, you know, and the ones that weren't good, they were lost. They were just completely lost in their lives. And I understand how that could be, but that could be me. I could be one of those people so easily. I overdosed so many times. Not so many times, but I overdosed, you know, a handful of times, where I woke up to paramedics being there, bringing me back to life. That has happened to me. And I never understood, you know, why is God sparing me? Why is he sparing me when I just kept on, you know, as soon as I woke up and got brought back, the first thing I want to do is just, I need to get dope, because now I don't have dope in me, and now I don't feel good, and now I feel sick. So I need something, you know, to make me feel better again. And it's such a crazy cycle. And, you know, even the drugs that I just did that killed me, that did that, I'm willing to do those same exact drugs again, because I don't want to feel the way that I feel. Like, it's insane. It really is. Like, it's such a crazy drug, and it's such a crazy way of life. And everything about it is wrong, but everything about it is so hard to break free from. And I don't know that I ever would have done it if it wasn't for hearing the voice of God when I did. That was the thing that saved me. That was the thing that changed everything about me. And would I have heard that voice of God if I had left those bags in the seat? Would I have heard that voice of God if I ate those bags and swallowed them? Of course not. Of course I wouldn't have. I would have been sick. I would have went to the hospital probably. And everything in my life would have went differently than it did. But now I can sit in front of you. Video 72 I'm on now about my recovery. 508 days clean I have since that moment right there that I'm talking about. You know, where I did something so unexpected of me. So against everything that I'd ever done before. Where I just changed everything. I changed the entire direction of my life with that one moment of making that decision to do something that was out of character. That was unexpected. That was technically the right thing to do in that moment. That changed everything for me. So that's my recommendation. You know, if you can at some point in time, if something comes up, similar situation or similar something, or you just have this on your mind now, what seems crazy to do will be the catalyst to your breakthrough. So do something unexpected. Thank you, Terry Seville Foy, for sharing that. And that really is, I had already done it, so it's something I heard after doing it, but it's something I can relate to, and it is 100% true, because that was exactly what happened, and that was the catalyst to my breakthrough, and my breakthrough has been amazing. And like I said, 508 days clean now. I'm working on every part of my life that matters. I'm working on all the relationships in my life that matters. I have a job now that I've had for over a year where I haven't missed one day of work, where I work as hard as I can each and every day, where I'm trusted completely. The owner said she trusts me with all of her heart just the other day, and she watched my interview. You know, she watched it. She heard me talk about stealing money from my job. She heard me talking about, you know, boosting from stores. She heard all these things that I did, but yet she says that she trusts me with all of her heart. Every single night I close the cash register, I drop all the money. She trusts me completely. She knows I would never do anything like that now. I don't know if it's only because she knows I have God in my life, or if she just trusts me without God, or whatever it is, but she knows that she can trust me, and I've built up that trust with her, and I know that she can trust me. So, and that's a great feeling, to not have to doubt anyone's trust. You know, I don't have to worry about whether she trusts me or not, because I know I will never do anything to disobey that trust, and I've never ever had that before in my life. So all these things are all life-changing for me. You know, I like my life so much now. I like all the people I have in my life so much now. I like how everyone sees me now. I like being a man of God. I like that people turn to me, you know, in that, looking at me as that person now. You know, that's how people at work see me. If someone has a question, or if someone has like a thought about wanting to go to church now, this is the things that people say to me now, you know. Whereas before, everyone just knew me as someone that got high and was fun to be around and would provide them with whatever and would be the life of a party, and that's always what I always had to be before. But now I don't have to be that anymore, that I have God in my life. I don't have to be liked by people anymore. I don't have to, I mean, I think I'm more liked by people now than I was, but I don't have to try to be something I'm not anymore. And that's what I did for so long, was I just tried so hard to be something that I didn't even know why I was doing it, but I just was trying so hard to be liked by everyone and just be everyone's friend, and trying so hard, but that all hurt me in the process, you know. So, but anyone who knows me now sees me as this person that I am now, and it's incredible to me, and it's what a blessing that this whole entire process has been. 72 videos later, you know, this is what I'm saying to you, and this is the person that I am, and it's absolutely amazing. Church is getting really, really exciting for me. All the things that are happening now there at church, with becoming an usher, you know, with all the help that I've been giving out there and everything. This week, the pastor talked to me, and he said that, you know, that he's thinking about wanting to do some sort of an outreach thing, and that maybe I can be a big part of that, or even be the head of that. That's awesome. That's so cool, you know, and just the sky's the limit for me now, and I can't wait to see where this all goes, as long as I continue down this path, which I obviously always will, but it all started right there at that moment, doing that one thing. And it's so awesome to hear that statement right there, and to be able to relate to it, and to be able to say, like, I understand why God spoke to me in that moment, because I really did something that deserved merited me being spoken to at that moment. That's what I did, and it makes sense why that was the moment that he did speak to me. Hasn't spoken to me since, you know, even though I asked him, are you going to speak to me all the time? And I thought at that moment, maybe I will just have a running conversation with him at all times. I didn't know, but I haven't heard his voice again since, but he hasn't had to, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing now. You know, I hear his voice in different ways. and different things, you know, it puts different thoughts in my mind at different times. You know, things come on my heart, and then I reach out to people. If all of a sudden I have a thought about someone, and I'm just thinking about them, you know, especially when I'm listening to certain sermons, or I'm listening to things, or if I'm reflecting, I'm praying, and something comes in my mind, then I'll reach out to that person, because I believe that that's God putting them on my heart, and that's God telling me that I need to reach out to them, that they need something, or that they need to hear something from me. So I abide by those things and I follow them. But to actually say I hear a voice, you know, to hear the audible voice, no, it was just that one time that I heard that. But now looking back, it all makes so much sense. It really, really does. So that's my suggestion for anyone that's suffering, anyone who wants to have a breakthrough, do something that's so unexpected, that is so out of character, that it can change your entire life. You know, if you do the right thing, if that's what you want to do, and that's the person that you want to become, because that's what happened for me. So that's the video I got for you guys. Please comment, like, share, comment, like, share, just repeated all that, subscribe especially, and just remember that as nice as to be important, it is infinitely more important to be nice. I love you all so very, very, very much. God bless you all. Have a blessed day. I love you. God bless.